Hi everyone, today we're going to learn about distributive property and then we are going to learn about factoring. First of all, let's take a look at what is the distributive property. To distribute, that means to hand out. If I distribute papers to a class, that means I will hand out papers to a class. To apply the distributive property to these expressions, we just simply multiply, or we hand out the 2 to each digit in the parentheses. In math, parentheses means multiply. So this is how we would apply the distributive property to these. We would do 2 times 4 is 8, plus 2 times 3 is 6. And just leave it alone. Don't add that 8 plus 6. Okay, let's do another one. Problem B, we're going to apply the distributive property. So these parentheses mean multiply. 5 times 3 is 15, plus 5 times 10 is 50. And we just leave it like that. You don't add them together. We're just applying the distributive property. Okay, problem C. 3 times 2 is 6. And 3 times 5 is 15. So we end up with 6 plus 15. We distributed the 3. And again, since parentheses means multiply, we're going to multiply everything in the parentheses by 10. 10 times 7 is 70, plus 10 times 8 is 80. Okay, and what this means, let me show you another way. Distributive property is just a quick way to do the math. What this 3 times 2 plus 5 means is if we were to stack and add 2 plus 5 3 times, we would get 6 plus 15. So it's just kind of a shortcut. Instead of adding this 2 plus 5 3 times, we just multiply it. Multiplication is a shortcut to addition. Okay, now let's look at some different problems, now that you know what distributive property is. These directions state to factor out the GCF using the distributive property. So in other words, we're going to factor this expression. In the last slide, you saw that we applied the distributive property, and now we're going to do the reverse. I'm going to give you the answers, like this 8 plus 6, 6 plus 15, and you're going to give me what the question is. So we're going to work backwards. Okay, let me just show you the first one. It's going to look in this kind of format. Your answer will, because going back to the first slide, see, that's how the original problem looked. You had a number outside the parentheses, and then you had something plus something in the parentheses. So we're going to ask ourselves, what is the GCF of 20 and 15? Okay, we think about it. Both of them are multiples of 5, so 5 is the GCF. So we're going to put the 5 out front, and we're going to ask ourselves, 5 times what would get us to 20? 5 times 4. Okay, next, 5 times what number will get us to 15? 3. Okay, now we can even check just to make sure we're right. And we can do the problem again, and we should, when we distribute, we should come up with the original problem. Okay, 5 times 4 is 20, plus 5 times 3 is 15. We come up with the original problem. So we just factored. That's what we did. Okay, let's try this problem. First, I'm going to write my parentheses. Will look like this. I'm going to pull the greatest common factor out. This is where the GCF is going to go, right there. So you have to think, out of 12 and 18, what is the greatest common factor? If you want to list the factors, you can, like we did, or you can use this method, the ladder method. So I'm thinking I'm going to pull out a 3, and I have 12 divided by 3 is 4, 18 divided by 3 is 6, and I see I can factor them even further. 4 divided by 2 is 2. 6 divided by 2 is 3. So this right here, these numbers on the side 2 times 3 is 6. That's the greatest common factor. I went over it kind of quickly because that's what we had on our first quiz, okay? Or if you just list out the factors, you can find the factors of 12, 1 and 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, factors of 18, 1 and 18, 2 and 9, 3 and 6. You can see that the greatest common factor is 6. So that's what we're going to pull out. We're going to pull the factor out and then ask ourselves 6 times what will get us 12? 6 times 2, not 3. 6 times 2 is 12. And then 6 times 3 is 18. And we just factored using the distributive property. Okay, let's look at a couple more. Okay, again, we want to work backwards. We want to factor out the greatest common factor. We're going to write it in this format. So I can ask myself, out of 2 and 8, the factors of 2 are 1 and 2, right? Factors of 8, 1 and 8, and 2 and 4, those are the factor pairs. So 2 is the greatest common factor. I'm going to put that out. So then I have to ask myself, when I distribute, 2 times what will give me 2? 1. 2 times what will give me 8? 4. And then when you distribute it back again, you should get this original, just to check. Okay, let's try it. 2 times 1 is 2, plus 2 times 4 is 8. Perfect, we got it. Okay, for this example 2, my greatest common factor, I know that the factors of 14 are 1 times 14, and then 2 times 7, and that's it. So 2 is the greatest common factor here. So I'm going to pull out the 2, and I'm going to have 2 times 7 plus 2 times 6. Okay, and I know that I'm finished because if in the parentheses, if you look, you can't factor out anything else from those parentheses. You want to make sure. Okay, I'm going to show you another example where somebody might make an error. Okay, pay close attention to this part because I'm going to show you where somebody might make an error. The directions say factor out the greatest common factor. So if somebody looks at this and thinks, oh, they have 2 as a factor in common. 2 times 12 is 24, plus 2 times 10 is 20. I'm finished. Okay, that is a mistake because if you can still factor out another number from here, you did not factor out the greatest common factor. The greatest common factor is not 2 because right here we can still factor out a 2 from that. So go ahead and you can pause the video and correct it. Okay, so that is wrong. Okay, our greatest common factor, let's try 4. 6 times 4 is 24. 4 times 5 is 20. So yes, this is correct. Okay, with this problem, someone might look at it and think, oh, they both have 2 as a factor in common. Let me factor out a 2. And that is my answer. Is that right or wrong? Okay, that is wrong because 2 is not the greatest common factor. We need to find the greatest common factor. And plus, with 6 and 8, you can still factor out another 2, right? So, in this case, again, 4 is my greatest common factor. So I'm going to factor that out. And my answer will be this. Okay, and again, you can always check your work by going back, redistributing, and seeing if it lines up. Okay, so that is factoring using the greatest common factor. I hope you enjoyed the video.